simpler way to look up that same thing in BibleWorks without having to use the dictionaries. Alright, but in order to do that, so I don't crash the machine while I'm recording, I'm first going to set some search limits. Alright, we're going to search on David. Alright, so I'm going to clear all, and I'm going to only select certain books that relate to David. We'll just talk about 1 Samuel because it's already going to have like 100 references to David in it. Alright, so then we're going to go to 1 Samuel. Alright, 1 Samuel. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to search on the word David right here. So I'm going to type a period. That means you search on each occurrence of the words with or without them being together. I'm going to search on David. And as you can see in the lower left hand corner, there are 223 verses in the book of 1 Samuel, because that's all I'm searching on. One form, meaning it's David, not Davids, not Davidic. Okay, and there are 273 hits, and it took 0.67 seconds to get that. Isn't that cool? So now I can just read the Bible to see what it says about David. Alright, now if you want a study buddy or help, and everybody does, I use it too, then you want to use the Bible dictionaries. Alright, and then you want to type in here. No, you type in here. Not use this search engine in this version of BibleWorks. Search here on David, and you're getting Fawcett's entry on David. Now you can size the box, and happily in BibleWorks you can use your mouse wheel. It's not sizing. Hello, size for me, please. It's only operating this slow because I'm recording. Okay, you can use your mouse wheel to scroll. In earlier versions of BibleWorks you couldn't do that. You were stuck with the stupid scroll bar. But you were still stuck with the stupid scroll bar here. You cannot use your mouse. See? I'm already on the left hand side, but it won't recognize it, so you have to use this stupid scroll bar, which always moves too fast. You can't use your mouse wheel. Okay, I've coded my mouse wheel to go one line at a time, and it doesn't work at all here. Alright, so now in order to get back to where I was, I've got to type David again. But now that I'm in David, I don't know, it's retaining my second search term. Don't know why. So now I'm looking at David, and I can scroll with my mouse wheel instead of having to use the scroll bar. That's a real cool feature. So now I'm reading about David here in Fawcett's, and I can easily switch to Easton's, okay? Or I can switch to ISBE Encyclopedia, which tends to have the longest entries, okay? And the thing that's good about ISBE Encyclopedia is it includes all the people who are trying to, like Wellhausen. Wellhausen was always trying to you know, say that the Old Testament was no good, that it was written later, and he came up with all these goofy ideas about a J and an E and a D and a P written by 4 different authors and composed in Ezra's time. Poor Wellhausen, I feel sorry for him. He's in heaven now, and he probably regrets all the work he did. I feel sorry for these people. When they get it wrong and they die, they have to live with knowing they did it wrong forever. Alright, so the nicest thing you can do for them is to say, like the church fathers, they're probably all in heaven. They know how they screwed up what they wrote, assuming that what we got is what they wrote. And they're busy hoping that God will tell somebody to tell somebody, hi, what these church fathers wrote is no good. That takes away their shame. That's why I'm doing it, okay? Wellhausen was another guy who came up with goofball stuff. What's nice about ISBE Encyclopedias, it includes the people who want to say that the Bible's no good, or the Bible's conflicting, or the Bible's contradicting itself. So you know what those arguments are. You have to know. Okay, so that's why these dictionaries are valuable. But if you want something that just sticks with Bible quotes, and it's just sort of, you know, what do you want to call it? Just like an outline. Then you want this Stephan biographical Bible thing. Okay? So you can click on a name and it'll take you to a name. And again, in your version, it won't be so slow to load. It's slow in mine because I'm recording. Alright, and so you get all these Bible verses. And you just put your finger on them and there you go. You can see what they are. Alright. Of course, like I said, you can just search on the name. And then you can see the actual verses that left and scroll through them as you wish. See, the search window and the search function in BibleWorks and the ability to put your cursor on a word and see all kinds of things about it right away. Instant gratification, baby. That's what makes BibleWorks worth buying. That's why I buy it and that's why I hawk it. Okay? See? That's what I like about this program. Okay. So that's enough for this section on resources, miscellaneous. Okay. Oh, we haven't covered Matthew Henry commentary. Okay, I'll do that next in the next increment. Okay, this Matthew Henry commentary we're going to go to next. The Matthew Henry commentary can be appended if you wish in your options. I forget where it is, but I covered it. In setup options, I think it's in startup. No, it's not in startup. It might be in search. It's somewhere, main window maybe, or browse window. Yeah, see here, browse window, you can show Matthew Henry Bible notes for the KJV. If you have that checked, then when you're on the KJV, let me change the window so you can see it. And I'll go to my basic. Alright. When you're on the KJV, you're going to also get the Matthew Henry Bible notes. Alright? If there are any. There don't happen to be any on this verse. Oops, there we go. There we go. See, Matthew Henry Bible notes. So that's one way you can set it up. We'll go through that again so you can see what that was, because I too am forgetting it. Browse window options. Very last one in browse window options. See, browse window configuration options. That was in my last browse window setup video. Show Matthew Henry Bible notes for KJV. If that's checked, then when you're on the KJV, you'll get the Matthew Henry Bible notes, but you have to have your cursor somewhere on the verse, okay, to see it. And then you get Matthew Henry's Bible commentary. You can also download Matthew Henry for free on the internet, but see, the thing that's nice about it being in BibleWorks is it's indexed to the verse. And then you can read what Matthew Henry had to say about it. A lot of people like Matthew Henry. I've not really read him much. Okay? I don't have much use for commentaries. It's only when I don't understand a verse, alright, that I go to the commentaries. Because everybody and his brother's got something to say. It's like, you shouldn't even be watching my videos unless there's something I'm saying that you don't know about and you want to know. And you've found out from God that you're supposed to even watch my videos. I don't know if you're supposed to watch my videos. See, we're supposed to listen to each other sometimes, but not always. So I don't look at the commentaries unless I'm confused about something or I don't understand something. Okay, and it's good due diligence too. You know, hi, here's how you understand the verse, but is your understanding the same as somebody else's, and if not, why? Doesn't mean you're wrong, and it doesn't mean they're right, but there'll be nuances. So this commentary is worth having. Okay? So much for Matthew Henry commentary, and I'm starting to slow down again, so I'll cover the next thing in the next increment. Size it before recording, so now you can see it in the recording. I've changed the archaeological dig list to the Neolithic 4, which is 5,000 to 4,500 BC. That's what they're saying it is. Okay, understand that. You know, they don't get it that carbon-14 is leached by water. So when there's a flood, anything that was pre-flood is going to have a whole lot less carbon-14 in it than before. So they're going to think it's older than it really is because the carbon-14 got leached into the water. Alright? So all these idiots who are trying to tell you, I'm not a young Earth person. I don't know how old the Earth is. But what they're telling you based on carbon-14 data is completely wrong. Because carbon-14 leaches in the water. So anything pre-2450 BC is going to look like it's a lot older than it really is. Okay, but that's what they call it. So this is what they call what you see on the screen. Neolithic 4, which they think dates back to 5000 and 4500 BC. Adam didn't fall until 4106 BC. So all of their civilization starts then, 100 years after that. Alright, so what they're calling 4500 or 5000 is wrong. But hey, that's what they call it. These are the locations where they're doing the digs. That's what's so cool about this map, is you can see the locations where they're doing the digs. Now, if I took you down farther to later digs, like if I took you to the time of the Exodus, which was 1440 BC, and I clicked on that, there would be too many cities in here. It would just crowd the screen with text. Alright, so I'm not going to do that. You'll have to do that on your own. But the point is you can. You can click on any one of these. These are digs by their period names. Okay? You can click on it and see how many digs are going on. Alright? In the archaeological era. And again, you can do more than that, but I can't do it. It's going to crash the machine. But you can have the patriarchs display. Abraham's journey display, and it'll be in red, big red lines. The Exodus, which is their guess on the route, and there are two schools of thought on that. One school's right, the other school's wrong. You'll find out which one you examine it. Exodus sites, the vision of Canaan, the conquest of Canaan, the journeys of Jacob. Okay, so you can get all these little red line maps that they'll give to you. If you're going to use a red line map, suggest that you block out all of this. Okay, just unclick all these and only click this one, borders and water overlays. What you'll get is a white screen that looks like a pencil sketch, and all those squiggly white lines are going to turn to periwinkle, and then the red lines for the journeys and everything like that will show up better. Alright, so for most of the time you're going to want just this box checked, and all the boxes before it you're going to want unchecked, especially if you want to read and clearly see the sites for these other overlays. The ministry of Jesus, the journey of Paul and Philip, the empires, all that. They're much clearer to read on a white background. Okay? So that's going to leave it for the BibleWorks map, and in the next increment I'm going to show you yet another map that you can get through BibleWorks. Okay, this was how you get it. This is the maps thing in resources. BibleWorks map module you just saw. The Net Bible maps is what I just showed you also. Now I don't know if it's going to crash. I'm going to try one more time to do it live on screen, how the Net Bible maps works. You should be able to click on this area and it will enlarge. That's not happening. But that might be only because I'm recording it. Okay. It looks like maybe you have to go to Net Bible in order to play with it. Alright, so this is just like an advertising. Right click to zoom. Alright, so I can zoom it this way. That's not very helpful because now the text is going out of focus. So this isn't particularly helpful. So what you really need to do is just go to www.netbible.com and then you can play with it. Alright? Because obviously you can't play with it much here in BibleWorks. So it's just like an advertisement. So you go to www.netbible.com and then you can play with their map. Alright, then we come to cross-references. These are the different kinds of cross-references. We saw that already here in the cross-reference thing where you had a choice. But your choices are more limited if you access it through resources, because they don't index them all of them in the same place. You got Nave, Treasury Scriptural Knowledge, which I like, the non-CHM version in particular I like. Okay, then this is Nave's non-CHM, this is Nave's CHM version. The non-CHM versions are better. You want those. Okay, CHM is that stupid file that I told you couldn't search on. Okay, which is like used for these books. Alright, like Shaft. Oh, Shaft is too big, it's going to really screw up the machine if I turn it on. This is a CHM file. It's called a help file. And you can't search on anything. I mean, you can, but it's a clumsy way to do it, so what you always want to do is view source. And then you can search in Notepad. See, just use the edit find. That's the easiest way to do a search in these so-called CHM files, which all look like this. Okay? Your help file, just like your typical Windows help file. That's not helpful. Okay? So fortunately, with Foresight, these guys gave you a non-CHM version for Naves, which I almost never use, but Treasury Scriptural Knowledge I use a lot. You can also download these for free on the internet. Okay, the various sites that offer them. Then this is new to BibleWorks 8 or 7 maybe. New Thompson Chain Reference Bible. A lot of people are real fond of that. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know really much about it. Then this is Torrey New Topical Textbook. I've not looked at that, but it's a CHM file. So again, you're going to have the same problem searching it. CHM files are terrible files to use. Okay, what they ought to do is make them Word documents or big HTML files. But see, the trouble is that you have to use a decompiler, and each one of these is an HTML file itself. You can't get one HTML file with the whole book in it. Or a PDF. They should do it in PDF or a Word document or one great big HTML file, and then it would be easy to search. But it's not. But at least you can read it. Better than nothing. Alright? So, cross-references, these are your options. Alright? And you decide which one you like best. I hardly use them, but Treasury Scriptural Knowledge is really great, especially in BibleWorks 5. It makes it really easy to demonstrate whatever I'm saying, live in the video. Then you got the Lexicons, which we've already seen before. And this is your download, and this includes the ones that you bought. They automatically fold them in. So then you can pick your lexicon here. Well, this is using Fawcett's Dictionary. Okay. You can pick a lexicon from this list, like let's say Thayer for Greek, because I really like Thayer. You can get Thayer for free on the internet. And then I want to just figure out what word to search on. I can type it in here. Okay, or I can use a drop down. Well, I can't really use the drop down because somehow the drop down is still keyed to Fawcett's Dictionary rather than the lexicon, which is now showing. So what I can do is I can click on the entry, and you have to use the scroll bar. You cannot use your mouse wheel, and as you can see, the scroll bar is problematic because it scrolls too fast or slow. Or you could type it in, and this automatically reverts to your Greek keyboard. Oh God, did I lose it? Please tell me I didn't lose it. Okay, I'm going to have to sign off, and I'll pick up at the next increment. Okay, here I just did a search on Epi, but I had to do it while the screen recording was off, so I couldn't show you how I did it. So let me just recap what it was I did. I changed the keyboard to Greek. I typed the therefore EPI, which in the Greek keyboard specifies epi, which is a common preposition. Because let's pretend I want to search all the lexicons on how epi is used. Okay, that's not something you'd want to do in the real world. Okay, then I hit the find next right here. Alright, and that's how I got it. So now when I say find next, you'll notice that the lexicon is now moving to the next occurrence of epi. See epi with the accusative here? And of course you have to keep moving this window around because it keeps on being in the way of the text you're reading. See, that's for ago. That's the entry for ago. And epi with the accusative used with ago, alright, and what it means. And there again is chaima, epi with chaima, epi with chairo. I mean, you're going to be researching this for a long time. That's a reason why to use it, okay, is that you're able to edit, search, and then find next, alright, and you know, type in the word you want, and it'll remember, as you just saw. If you close the window, it'll remember what you last did. It'll remember where you last were. If you want to change lexicons, like let's say we go to Liddell Scott, okay, you're going to have to click on this thing that says reload, and then you're going to have to click on this, otherwise it's going to think that you're still in the old lexicon. And you know, you could type it right here too. But if you type it right here, all you're going to get is the lexical entry. You're not going to get every occurrence. So that's why you want to use this. Then you can search all of your lexicons at once on that term or how it's used. That's really kind of cool. It's a cool feature. Okay. Otherwise, you know, the lexicon entry is just the same as if you just put your cursor on a Bible verse. And here you go, you got the lexicon here, you hit the shift key, hold the shift key down, move your mouse down in order to read. And you got to be careful to not, you know, those pop-ups are really annoying. But you can turn them off in your startup options. Alright, and then you're seeing all your lexicons here for the Greek. You can't do that for the Hebrew. So to see all your Hebrew lexicons, you're going to need to go here and then pick which are your Hebrew lexicons. See, I've got holidays a default in BibleWorks. Halot I had to buy. BDB is a default, and Twot, my favorite, is a default in BibleWorks. Okay, Halot doesn't really do much. It's great for when you want to get the etymology of proper names. Okay, and it's great for showing references to, you know, non-biblical Hebrew writing, because that's about all you've got. So that closes it for, I'll come to these other things. I never use these. I'll come to these other things in the next increment.